former Chief Justice David Maraga calls for the arrest and prosecution of ELIUD LAGAT, saying he has directly and indirectly been involved in the murder of Albert Ojwang. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen announces new reforms in the police sector meant to make police stations safer and better. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get this show started. Now, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, ELIUD LAGAT, has stepped aside pending investigations into the death of Albert Ojwang. In a statement dated June 16th, LAGAT said the move was in good and conscious thought of his role and responsibilities. He cited the ongoing investigations into Ojwang's death as the reason for temporarily vacating office. LAGAT added that his deputy will perform the office's functions until the investigations conclude. He expressed willingness to support the investigation process and extended condolences to Ojwang's family. Now, Albert Ojwang died after an alleged assault while in police custody at Central Police Station. The case has triggered public outrage and led to the arrest of the station's OCS, Samson Talam. Investigations are ongoing, led by the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. Now, the OCS at Central Police Station, Samson Talam, will remain in police custody until Wednesday, June 18th, when the court will rule whether he will be detained for 21 days or not. Talam was arrested over alleged involvement in the murder of Albert Ojwang inside Central Police Station cells. IPOA filed a miscellaneous application seeking his detention for 21 more days. They also argued that more time is needed to complete investigations and conduct forensic analysis on seized electronic devices. The application was supported by an affidavit from Abdirahman Jibril, a senior IPOA investigations officer. The affidavit claims Talam planned, directed, and attempted to cover up the fatal assault on Albert Ojwang.
Indicated, our application is dated 16th of June 2025, the year of the Lord. You know, in summary, what we are requesting this court to do is to issue an order for what the Constitution calls detention continuing.
Denying bond on very flimsy grounds. Did they read Article 21? I am certain that they ignored it because mistakes.
There is also admission from the defense that the person sitting as the respondent before you is the OCS. While they had questioned it in their affidavit, they have admitted several. And not just the OCS. He's the OCS of, according to Mr. Cliff Mbeta, one of the greatest stations in Kenya. And that is not enough. According to Mr. Omari, he has been in the police service for 29 years.
That the reason why you are inviting the court to order the pre-charge detention of the suspect before court is because you have fear that he might run away from the jurisdiction of this court, isn't it?
Yes.
I believe this issue of the jurisprudence on pre-detention, pre-trial detention is well settled. It's just a matter of, a case-to-case, adopting whatever the law states to what the facts are. So I want to thank you for that. I propose we come back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. for a ruling. So in the meantime, I'm not sure, can the respondent still be detained remanded at the Langata?
To a different court, a Kibera court has allowed police to detain 2 suspects accused of assaulting the late Albert Ojwang for 14 days pending investigations. Kibera Magistrate Daisy Mutai has set the 7th of July as the day of mentioning for further orders. The Independent Policing and Oversight Authority argues that the suspects be escorted to a government chemist for DNA sampling and the electronic gadgets be seized and subjected to analysis. The 2 suspects, Jean Amito and Collins Karani, are to be held at Mudhagari Police Station and Kileleshwa Police Station, respectively. Now, elsewhere, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has announced a new raft of policy reform frameworks in the National Police Service to streamline efficiency in police stations across the nation. Addressing the press on Monday, Murkomen noted that the reforms were created to make Kenyan police stations centers of excellence. Now, the reforms include the mandatory installation of CCTV surveillance in all 1,209 stations for the next 2 years, which Murkomen said shall be manned by the OCSs at the stations. He added that he will be making proposals to Parliament to enact laws that criminalize tampering with CCTV cameras, and that the OCSs should report CCTV failure within an hour after the occurrence.
The aspiration of fulfillment of constitutional standards under Article 244, I have today directed the implementation of the following policy reforms framework in the National Police Service. First, on CCTV surveillance, it shall be mandatory to equip police stations with CCTV surveillance to enhance transparency and accountability. All the police stations currently standing at 1,209 shall have CCTV surveillance within the next 2 years. We shall be making proposals to Parliament to enact laws that criminalize tampering with CCTV cameras. The surveillance system shall be in the custody of the officer commanding station, and the said officer shall be required to ensure that the system is always functioning, and instances of fault, it shall be reported within 1 hour through the established chain of command. The CCTV shall have an external.
You know, it's such an oxymoron to call police stations centers of excellence. I mean, what's excellent about being locked up in a police station? Just wondering. Now, former Chief Justice David Maraga is now calling for the immediate arrest of DCI Director Mohamed Amin and the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja for lying under oath in the murder of Albert Ojwang. The former Chief Justice has called for the arrest and prosecution of the Deputy Inspector General of Police ELIUD LAGAT, alleging that available evidence links him directly or indirectly to the brutal murder of the blogger. He further warned that should no action be taken, he will join Kenyans in the streets to demand justice and accountability.
The three institutions charged with the maintenance of law and order, that's the National Police Service, the DCI, and the IPOA, have lied on oath. Consequently, the Kenyans have lost trust in, the Kenyan people have lost trust in them. This cannot be allowed to continue. Our institutions of human rights and the justice need a serious resetting and rebuilding. To begin this resetting and rebuilding process, we demand the arrest of the DCI because he lied on oath, and the IG, as well as Mr. Langat himself, and they be prosecuted, and those, of course, who are associated with the murder of Ojwang. To clear this, to be clear, we support the efforts of the other Kenyans who have already petitioned for private prosecution. And if no action is taken, we will join them and come up even with fresh charges against them. And we demand that this be done on or before the 25th of June.
Now, to other matters, the government has ordered the immediate closure of over 500 gold mining sites in West Pokot County following the collapse of the Kambi Karaya site on Sunday, where one person was confirmed dead, with rescue efforts still underway to retrieve miners believed to be trapped underground. Some of the mining sites to be closed include Kambi Karaya, Takwel, Seker, Murita, and Romos, among others, located within Pokot Central in Kipkomo, Kacheliba, and Kapenguria sub-counties. Speaking during a press briefing on Monday, West Pokot County Commissioner Khalif Abdullahi said the decision was reached at after consultations with the security agencies and officials from the State Department of Mining and the relevant ministries.
The government has directed the closure of all mining sites within West Pokot County with immediate effect. There are over 500 gold mining sites. In the last few days, we had fatalities, mining-related deaths. We had 4 deaths recently and 5 casualties in Takwel area. We have had environmental degradation caused by unlawful and unregulated mining activities within West Pokot County. The long-term environmental impact of the unregulated mining include water and air pollution as a major concern. It has left deep holes, dirty water in rivers, particularly River Takwel. The government has put in measures and has established a mining office in Kapenguria to regulate the growing artisanal mining activities and improve also access to government services, including licensing, compliance, enforcement, and safety monitoring.
Tanzanian opposition politician Tundu Lissu has protested his treatment in prison. While appearing before Kisutu Magistrates Court in Dar es Salaam, the Chadema leader was granted right to represent himself in the ongoing treason case against him. Lissu, whose Chadema party was disqualified from the October elections, was arrested for his call for electoral reforms before the polls. Rights organizations have called his arrest and detention a political persecution of opponents in Tanzania, calling for openness and accountability.
Kwamba wakili na mshtakiwa wanatakiwa wasisikilizwe maneno wanayozungumza na mtu mwingine yeyote ni sehemu ya sheria kuu za kimataifa, Mheshimiwa Hakimu. The body of principles for the protection of all persons under any form of detention or imprisonment. Hizi body of principles inaitwa maarufu kama the Mandela Principles.
Lakini kwa sasa mshtakiwa atajitetea mwenyewe kama alivyoomba, ombi lake limekubaliwa na upande wa utetezi wameridhia hivyo. Kwa hiyo kuanzia sasa ni mawakili wa serikali dhidi ya mshtakiwa.
All right, allow us to take a quick breather. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. Stay with us, don't go too far. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The escalating conflict between Israel and Iran has entered its 4th day, with both nations launching fresh missile strikes overnight, defying growing international calls for restraint and diplomatic resolution. Iran's early Monday offensive targeted key Israeli infrastructure, including an oil refinery and portions of the national power grid, causing widespread disruptions and stoking fears of a broader regional crisis. Civilians on both sides continue to bear the brunt of the hostilities. In Iran, panic has gripped Tehran as explosions near the capital prompted residents to flee in large numbers, seeking refuge in safer regions. Meanwhile, in Israel, large plumes of smoke and fires were visible through the night, with several residential buildings reportedly hit by incoming missiles. Casualties are steadily rising, though the exact figures remain unconfirmed due to the fluid nature of the conflict. Humanitarian agencies have expressed deep concern over the worsening conditions and have urged both sides to open humanitarian corridors and avoid civilian targets. In retaliation, the Israeli Defense Forces launched a series of airstrikes targeting command centers linked to the Quds Force and powerful and covert branch of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Let's get sporty. Teremi Boys High School has qualified to participate in the West Zone football for the first time. And Teremi defeated Kabula through a 3-2 penalty shootout, following an all-1 tie in regular time. In the match, Kabula submitted a complaint to the Inter-School Sports Disputes Committee, claiming Teremi played a goalkeeper who was over the required age of the game. However, the committee has dismissed the case and given Teremi the opportunity to move forward in the competition. The principal, John Wakwabubi, has appreciated the decision as he is now preparing his team to fight in the final that is to be held on a date to be specified. Now, on Monday, the committee was still investigating the case presented by Bukembe against Kibabii, who also beat Bukembe through penalties.
We wapatia a lot of outings kucheza timu zingine, na hiyo imepatia watoto uzoefu wa kucheza boli. Ndio umeona katika kwa penalty wametulia kabisa. Kama wange panic tungepoteza, lakini ule uzoefu umewafanya wakacheza hizo penalty zote na wakashinda. Na umeona hata goli ile ujasiri ambao amekuwa nao. Pia ningependa kushukuru makoches wa timu ya Teremi, kazi nzuri ambayo wamefanya, na vijana ambao wamejitolea mhanga kucheza boli. Kwa sababu ikiwa mara ya kwanza kwenda regionali sio rahisi. Ni vijana kujitolea, vijana kujituma, na wamejituma. Kwa hivyo sisi kama walimu wa Teremi, nikiwa kiongozi wao kama chief principal, nashukuru Mungu. Na tunaenda kujiandaa vilivyo ili angalao kaunti ya Bungoma kule kwenye region tulete matokeo mazuri.
Despite losing the finals in volleyball by 3-0 defending champions Nwembela, Chesamisi High School Principal Christopher Serem has commended his team in the county school games. Serem says his boys made notable strides and are aiming higher in the upcoming regional competitions. He has also condemned the violence of fans that led to injuries to students, coaches, and fans, calling on stakeholders in the sports to take action against the perpetrators. This was echoed by the school sports department head Caleb Wafula Ndalila. Chesamisi, popularly known as the Buffaloes, performed well in various disciplines, including soccer, where they were eliminated in the quarterfinals against Bukembe, volleyball, and other sports.
Soka tumecheza up to quarters na Bukembe Boys, tukapigwa 1-0 na Bukembe Boys, lakini wame misbehave, wamepiga my coaches and my students, and we are not taking it lightly. We don't know how that case is going to end. Nashukuru our chief principal for the moral, spiritual and financial support, together with my former HOD Mr. Wanyama, together with my teacher here wa volleyball Mr. Watitwa.
Football tulianza vizuri sana. Ningependa kuchukua special niwashukuru sana hiyo team ya football because ni team ambayo kwa miaka mingi tumekuwa chini kidogo, but kulingana na vile tuliwatayarisha vijana waliweza kufika quarter finals, ambapo tulimaliza na Bukembe. Ingawa baada ya hiyo mchezo kulikuwa na furuku, na tumepeana complaint yetu officially kwa sababu kuna wanafunzi ambao waliumizwa, hata coach pia, coaches wawili waliumizwa. Planning is very important. Planning is very important because ukiona hii mambo ya violence unakuta si wanafunzi, si walimu, lakini ni fans. So officials ni vyema wa kama utakuta good system ya ku manage funds.
Well, big up to Chesamisi High School, which by the way is my home county team. So that was a good one as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you are up to date on what is making headlines across the country. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have a wonderful evening.